Oi, mates, buckle up for a proper financial roller coaster. Gather round and let me spin you the wild tale of George Soros, the geezer who took on the Bank of England and carved his name in gold in the history books. This ain't just a story about cash and markets. It's a bloody epic of razor-sharp wits, guts that'd make your jaw drop, and a deal that shook the world's markets to their core. Picture us by a crackling fire, wind howling outside, as I tell you one of the maddest stories from the 20th century's money game. George Soros was born on the 12th of August, 1930, in Budapest, Hungary, in right dodgy times. He grew up during World War II, and in 1944, him and his Jewish family had to go into hiding from the Nazis. Imagine a 14-year-old lad learning quick how to outsmart death and think on his feet to stay alive. Those tough days shaped his brain, giving him a knack for survival and a proper hunger for a challenge. In 1947, at 17, Soros legged it to London for a fresh start. He signed up at the London School of Economics in 1949 and got his degree in 1952. Life was proper skint. He flogged souvenirs and waited tables to make ends meet. But he was dreaming big. He got dead inspired by his professor, a philosopher bloke called Karl Popper, who banged on about this open society idea. Still, George's eyes were glued to the financial markets, that murky world where sharp minds make their fortunes. By 1956, he'd hopped over to New York and started working on Wall Street as a rookie trader. He wasn't a star straight off, but he was like a quiet river, deep, patient, soaking up knowledge day by day. In 1970, he set up the Quantum Fund with his mate Jim Rogers, and that's when he started shining. Soros had this cracking idea called reflexivity. Basically, markets don't always tell the truth. They're swayed by what punters think, and those thoughts can spark golden opportunities. Now let's dive into the juicy bit, the big showdown in 1992. Over in Europe, there was this thing called the exchange rate mechanism, or ERM, kicked off in 1979 to keep European currencies steady. Britain joined the party on the 8th of October 1990, but the pound was in a right pickle. It was pegged too high against the German mark, making British exports pricey and the economy proper wobbly. Think of a ship creaking under too much cargo in a stormy sea. Soros, from his New York office, clocked this weakness like a hawk. By July 1992, he was keeping a beady eye on the pound. He knew the Bank of England was trying to prop it up by buying loads of sterling, but that was like trying to stop a flood with your bare hands. In August 1992, Soros and his crew, led by his right-hand man Stanley Druckenmiller, started digging into the market. They sussed out that Britain couldn't jack up interest rates to save the pound without knackering the economy even more. It was obvious the pound was going to ditch the ERM and its value would tank. In early September 1992, Soros decided to go all in. He planned to short the pound, borrow it, sell it high, then buy it back cheap, pocketing the difference. If the price went up, though, he'd be proper stuffed. Soros didn't mess about. He bet $10 billion of quantum funds cash. 10 billion quid. That's some serious bottle. By mid-September 1992, they started putting the plan into gear. They were flogging pounds left, right, and center, piling pressure on the currency. The markets were getting dead jittery. In London, the Bank of England was fighting like mad. On the 15th of September 1992, they hiked interest rates twice in one day, from 10% to 12%, then to 15%, in a desperate bid to convince traders to hold onto the pound. But Soros didn't flinch. He knew the game was up. Then came the legendary day, the 16th of September, 1992, forever known as Black Wednesday. The markets woke up in pure chaos. The Bank of England was battling, but Soros and his lot were too strong. They kept selling pounds, and every time the bank bought, they sold more. By 7:30 p.m., the bank chucked in the towel. The British government announced it was pulling the pound out of the ERM and letting it float free. The pound crashed, losing about 15% of its value against the German mark in hours. Soros, watching from New York, had sold high and bought low. The result? Quantum Fund raked in a tidy profit of near enough $1 billion in one day. Picture it. London was in shock. Politicians were bickering, while Soros and his team were quietly chuffed in New York. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Loads of folk in Britain blamed him for sparking an economic crisis, though others reckoned he just played a weak system like a fiddle. Truth is, Soros didn't make the mess. He was just the sharpest at cashing in on it. After that deal, Soros became a proper legend. He wasn't just a trader, he was a symbol of what one bloke could do against massive institutions. He kept running Quantum Fund, making more dosh, but he also got known for his charity work. He's poured billions into his Open Society Foundation set up in 1979 to back democracy and education. Before we wrap up, mates, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more cracking stories like this. Follow us on our official website and our X account. Links are all in the description box below the video.